The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free, 800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And our main website is xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is author Dina Rae. She has published 4 novels in thriller, horror, and paranormal genres. Her passion for conspiracy theory is obvious as she continues to mix fact into her fiction, leaving readers wondering about the truth. She holds a Master of Arts from Roosevelt University. Ms. Rae continues to guest on multiple conspiracy radio shows, convinced that the New World Order looms around the corner. Big Agri, Big Pharma, and Big Conspiracy is her first nonfiction book. Her other works are The Last Degree, Bad Juju, Halo of the Damned, and Halo of the Nephilim. Her website is www.dinarae.co. And joining me now is Dina Rae. And Dina, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thank you so much, Rob, for having me.
Dina, where does your passion for writing come from?
Well, my day job is an English teacher, and I teach special ed kids reading and writing. So it's always been in me. And
the New World Order, is it real, or is it just an imagination concept that people who don't understand the actual workings of society have come up with this to explain what they don't understand?
Well, I believe it's very real. Of course, there's no proof to any of this. It's a gigantic conspiracy that's shrouded in secrecy by who's who of the world, as I'm sure you and your listeners know full well. There's an inner circle running things, and us peons don't really know what's going on.
But if it's a conspiracy, there's no proof. How do we know it's real?
Well, there's a lot of things that suggest that New World Order conspiracy theory is true. For example, there's an annual Bilderberg meeting that takes place all over in major cities all over the world, especially Canada, especially Europe, sometimes the United States. In the Bilderberg group, everybody who's who shows up, leaders of countries, CEOs of major corporations, princes, kings, academia, professors from highfalutin universities.
Right.
Anybody who's got a lot of power shows up at these things. Nobody knows what's discussed. There's security up the yin-yang.
Yeah.
So it's kind of suspicious.
I don't see anything suspicious about that. You've got, like you said, kings. You've got VIPs, head of businesses. I can understand the tight security in today's society. Private organizations don't release all their information to the public. So what makes this such a targeted aspect of society?
Well, if they wanted to hold a meeting with each other, then why wouldn't they do it above board and have a UN convention or something like that? Why wouldn't they invite a reporter or two in to, cover the event? Everything's done on the down low, and it just why do all of these people need to talk to each other in the first place?
Well, is it any of our business? Do we have to know? Is it going to affect the way we see tomorrow? So I don't understand what the big deal is.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
I just don't get certain connections with, the Sheikh of Saudi Arabia, conversing with the professor at Harvard, who's conversing with Google, who's conversing with eBay CEO. So it's just, I don't know. It's suspicious.
Is it because we don't run in their circles, and there might be a little bit of jealousy that we don't have the same access to these people as those who are invited to these meetings? And maybe there's good reason why these meetings are closed. Like, there's many meetings around the world that aren't open to the public, so why should we just target the rich, the famous, and the powerful?
Well, that's definitely one way to look at it. There's that's only just one piece to the gigantic jigsaw puzzle when you're talking New World Order conspiracy. For example, there's, the Bitcoin, which is gaining ground. You and your listeners probably know that it's replacing cash as currency, and it can be used internationally.
All right, you and I have to take a 2-minute commercial break. We'll be right back. This is the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Exonation, Dina Rae is our guest this hour, and Dina's website is dinarae.co. That's DINARAE.co. Before we went to the commercial breakdown, we were talking about the Bitcoin, and isn't that just a sign of progress? Like, don't we want world trade? Don't we want to be able to have the freedom that electronic currency brings to one and all? It gives a better sense of security.
Well, again, I mean, yes, you raise an outstanding point, but then you're hitting the nail right on the head. Mm-hmm. It provides a global way of paying for things, which is the whole crux of New World Order conspiracy. Well, one world government.
Yeah, but is this the crux of progress? Like, we can say the same thing then about the internet, that the internet is part of the New World Order and is part of a bigger conspiracy. And I think that people want to reach out and grasp at these straws because it gives them something to do. Like, up until now, give me one example where all of this one world currency, this one world communication has done anything wrong.
Well, here's something that's a little bit more tangible. Okay. We've got UN Agenda 21. Mm-hmm. They're talking about sustainable development, which many believe is an outline in writing that describes the beginning of a one-world government. And, of course, many worry that there's a vague term in there that suggests that private property will be taken away.
Well, the government
that's something on the book.
The government expropriates property now as it is. This is nothing new for state, federal, municipal governments. They do that now.
What do you mean? Take away people's property?
Sure they do. Sure they do. It happens every day of the year. It's nothing new. For example, if the government wants to put a road in from point A to point B, that's expropriation. That's the government. Easement. That's the same. That's the exact same thing.
But they have to compensate the owners of fair market value of the land. And if you don't believe that their offer is fair market, then you can get a lawyer and get a court date and argue it. In UN Agenda 21, you don't have any of those options.
But don't forget, the United Nations only applies to the states that are part of it. There are many countries who are not part of the United Nations, and there are many countries who object to everything that the United Nations says, even though they're member countries. So I don't think that you'll ever see a clean sweep.
I don't know. The people who are involved in the UN are again the same people who are, in my opinion, part of the inner circle. They're the ones that have, and the ones that don't want to join the UN either have economic problems, or they don't like to follow rules. They're not as developed. So you're talking about members of the UN are wannabe countries that want to have some money and countries that do have money.
So what would be wrong with a one-world government anyway? What would be so bad?
Well, I guess I'm a Christian, so everything is wrong with a one-world government.
Well, what does Christianity have to do with it? Where does it say in the Bible that it can't be a one? In fact, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the Bible talk and profess about world peace, living with our brothers, sharing?
The Bible also got mad at first attempt at New World Order, which, if you remember the story of the Tower of Babel, where